Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. The scenario is entitled Caught, which comes to us from our friends over at Reckoning of the Dead. It was written by Matt Ryan and Noah Lloyd. I'm the GM, and this is episode 2. Our characters are all criminals living in Arkham, Massachusetts in 1923. They've been hired by the mysterious James Brophy to steal a copy of the Dread Necronomicon from a Mr. Thomas Kenning, who seems involved in a criminal group known as the Siblings of Night. Nevertheless, it was child's play for the 4 criminals to swipe the tome and make their way into the night. They might as well have a little fun along the way to the safe house. That being said, let's continue our journey into the darkness. So you have just miraculously picked the lock on some random house.
I'm just gonna creep inside real fast.
I still think this is folly, guys.
Oh,
what are you talking about? This is the best buzz I've ever had. Come on now. Let's do this. Come on, man.
Skinny, as you step inside...
Got any cigars in there, man?
As you step inside, Skinny, you realize that despite the outside of the house, whoever lives here probably has some money. Because it's nice furniture. What do the rest of you want to do? Are you just going to hang out outside, or are you going to... Nobody says you have to do what Skinny tells you to do.
I'm hanging outside real close to the entry point, sort of covering, make sure I'm staying in the shadows. And I'll beat the crap out of anyone who comes by.
I'm hiding in the bushes. Okay. I like it here. I might stay here for a while.
I'm going to tiptoe into the entrance there.
All right, you're going to go in?
Yeah.
So you see Skinny across the room getting ready. He's crossing the room, and but you see him in there. It doesn't look like anybody's home at the moment.
I'm gonna, as I step over the threshold, I'm gonna listen for any noises.
All right, do a listen roll.
Don't hear anything.
Okay. So Skinny, what are you gonna do? It seems like it's a 2-story flat. You're on the bottom.
Just peruse the first floor, see if there's anything.
All right.
We're taking something like silver candlesticks or.
Yeah, do a spot hidden.
Ooh, that's an 11. Also,
yeah.
Luck to make that an extreme success.
Oh, that's not necessary. You can see on the table there does seem to be some sort of a silver flower boat or something in the center of the table. You put an arrangement for meals. Yeah, it's a little bigger than that, so you'll have to put it in something. Probably always have a bag. Okay, what else? What are you going to do? Vince, what are you going to do now that you're inside?
Well, noticing the silver thing that has been absconded with, I'm going to look for my own piece.
Okay. Go ahead and do a luck roll.
It's an extreme luck. That's an extreme luck roll.
Okay. There's on the mantle above the fireplace. There are a whole bunch of family portraits, and they all look like they're in expensive little frames. Some of them look like silver. All of which could be valuable. I mean, they're a little bulky, but... All right. Hey. What next, Johnson?
Going upstairs.
All right.
Johnson, hold up. Help me get some of these paintings out of the frames.
Well, they're photos.
Oh, they're photos.
Yeah,
like
little
ones.
Yeah, little photos.
Okay.
If you need help with that, Vince, I don't know what to tell you. Creeping upstairs.
All right, so you creep upstairs. Go ahead and do a stealth roll.
Ooh, 55. That's good.
Okay. Stairs don't squeak. You get to the top. Looks like there might be 3 rooms.
All right, well, we'll just try the first one.
All right. The first room seems to be the master. The bed is made, so nobody's sleeping here right now. These people must be out or on vacation or something like that.
Oh, perfect. So check it for jewelry.
All right, do a spot hidden.
A 78 is not good.
Okay. What would you need to pass the spot hidden?
28.
So what's our difference there?
Well, actually, so I would need a 50 to pass. The difference is 28.
Oh, 28's the difference?
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry, my spot hidden's at 50, and I rolled a 78.
All right. Gretzky, Vince, and McKinney, you're each going to take, let's say, you're each going to take about, you're going to take 8 points of damage each. I'm sorry, 8 points of POW. Yeah. And so you get that sort of dizzy feeling all of a sudden. Skinny, what you find is a jewelry box. And the jewelry box has a number of very valuable looking jeweled necklaces in it. All right.
God, I don't feel well.
Moving on to the next room.
Looks like it's a kid's room. In
And
fact,
McKinney,
both of the other rooms look like they're kids' rooms.
McKinney, what's taking them so long?
All right, well, have
I'm
to
gonna head
draw
up
the
the-
line somewhere.
I'm gonna head up the
So I'm gonna
stairs.
check both of those rooms for valuables.
All right, so you're heading up the stairs as Skinny's going to the third bedroom, which is just another kid's room. What do you want to do, Vince?
So how would you describe the feeling of losing POW? Is it fatiguing?
It's more a feeling of compliance. Like you're just not interested in thinking for yourself at the moment, just going with the
Okay.
flow. But it's like it feels a little like giving up, and it's a little depressing feeling.
Okay. Skinny,
Yeah. What?
Skinny,
Hey, what? Why?
are you ready? Are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get out of here. See if we can't make it to that the library.
Yeah. Library. I mean, my bag's not full yet, so we might, hit a few more places on the way, but we'll see. Let's go.
Okay,
Space
so
for books? Is there
Is
enough
there-
space? Is there
Oh,
space
there'll
for
be plenty of
books?
space. Don't worry about it.
so
All right.
who actually has the book right now? Is it McKinney? Who has the book?
I think it might be. I think I might.
Yeah,
still have
McKinney
it.
has.
Yeah,
I got it stuffed up my my sweater vest.
Okay. All right, so you guys are heading out, and you meet McKinney and Gretzky outside.
Hey, what took you?
Hey,
I'll show him the nice silver tray thing.
Nice, not bad, Skinny.
yeah, got some good stuff in there. Yeah, this is feeling like it's gonna be our night, boys.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm feeling kind of dizzy.
Ah, come on, McKinney, don't give up on me now. We just barely got started.
Yeah, maybe Skinny's got a point. I mean, it's not like we're doing much anyway.
Yeah. Why don't we? I mean, I thought we were gonna go and see if we could get anything over the library. Find some other. Find some other books like this that might be worth a few bucks.
Yeah. Let's go.
A few clams.
Yeah, at least a handful of clams.
Yeah.
Man, a whole bucket of
Maybe
them.
4 or 5 clams and maybe some scallops. And a lobster.
And now you're talking. Now you're talking.
Yeah. I started sounding quite a lot like Reverend Jim.
Don't worry about it.
I don't know why I've done that.
Now you sound a little like Batman.
Where are the other drugs going?
All right.
You all got fish on the brain.
Hey,
Oh.
listen,
That's disgusting.
fish on the brain, but silver in the bag.
And water on the knee.
All right. So you guys are all heading in the direction of Miskatonic University.
Yeah, let's go to the University.
Knock it over.
All right. The campus itself is open to the outside. There's no wall or anything going around the university. You get onto the edge of the campus, and you know more or less where the library is. It's a certain big building. It's pretty famous. And as you're still sort of skulking around because there might be students out. There might be who knows what. There might be a security guard. You don't know. But as you approach, within maybe 100 feet of the university library, you can see that there is a very large dog that is chained in front of the library. But there would be no way to get to the entrance. He has enough play in his chain. He's not barky, but it doesn't look like it looks like he's been well trained.
Do we have any more of that steak left?
Yeah.
Do you? Why would you carry around raw meat with you?
Well, for my
I don't know.
I fed it all to the previous dog.
yeah, Sparky.
I wasn't foreseeing any subsequent canines.
Well, is it awake?
It looks like it's asleep, but it's probably fairly alert. It's a guard dog.
Let's see if we can't go around.
Yeah, there's got to be a
Can't
back
get into
entrance.
a window or something.
Yeah.
All right.
You said this is after. This is that's right. This is really late. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably about 1:30 in the morning now.
Yeah. Oh, and it's the Tuesday the 10th now.
And there are lights. So, I mean, there are not lights on in the library, but there are lights on the campus to light the paths and stuff like that. All right, so you're going to work your way around to the back of the library. There is a small access door. Looks like it's maybe for, to the back of the library where there's janitors can go in or out or whatever.
Well, so
And there's a
what
few
we're-
fairly small windows, but the lowest window is at least 15 feet off the ground.
All right. Well, the doors for janitors and people like me with lockpicks. Let's give this a go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Take a couple steps back, try to find shadow, and just cover them. If anyone comes up, I'll take care of them.
73 is a pass.
All right. Without any difficulty at all, the lock pops, and the door opens. It looks fairly dark inside.
You still don't want to tip the dog off, so. Gonna go inside.
All right. You're all going to slip inside.
Yeah, I'll follow up last.
All right.
Shut the door behind us and relock it.
I'm
You
on
see-
his heels.
You seem to be in a back, sort of a workroom office. There are filing cabinets. There are a lot of books that are just sort of stacked on tables where people have been doing whatever they do in libraries to books. And there's a door leading out into a hallway.
All right, is there any like janitor's keychain or something left around?
Oh, you don't see anything like that in here.
All right, well, keep going.
What kind of books are on the
Just
tables?
various things from the library. People have checked out and they need to be rechecked back in.
Nothing
Hey,
fancy.
Nothing
Just
fancy.
remember, they kept this one. They kept the one that McKinney has under his sweater. They kept that in a vault. So I'm sure these people with their valuable books, they're going to be similarly
Well, you never know.
secured.
All right.
Maybe.
Do they have a rare book section in the library?
I don't know.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't read.
All right, let's go there. At least I'll go there.
So you step out into the hallway, and you walk down the hallway. Then you go past a couple of other doors. You think one might be a bathroom, might be a couple of other offices, and it suddenly opens up into the library proper. And from where you're standing, there are 3 stories going up. It's open in the middle. There's a chandelier hanging down, and there are 3. You can see books going up to the ceiling. There's a reception desk that's over to one side, and there's a million books.
This is a lot of books.
How familiar are you people with libraries?
Not at all.
Well, look,
Right.
I don't spend a lot of time in libraries, but in libraries, but
Well, we're looking for rare books, right?
yeah, they're gonna
Okay,
keep
let's
the rare.
start with awe.
No, they're gonna keep the rare. They're gonna keep the rare books on somewhere safe, aren't they?
Yeah, their own little
Yeah.
place. So let's just go looking for
I like my idea
other
better.
hallways off the upper floors.
Yeah, or look, maybe there's like a cabinet that's all locked up, or a side room. It might even have rare books written on it, or antiquarian
Yeah,
books, I
maybe,
think they call them.
Well, McKinney, why don't you do a spot hidden roll as you're looking around? Remember, it's also dark in here.
You
Yeah, how
betcha.
dark is it? I was about to ask.
It's pretty dark. If you guys have flashlights, they're not going to light up too much.
I rolled a 31. Am my spot hidden? That's a 40. So it's
All
a
right.
pass.
Well, you notice that there's an area behind the reception desk that looks like its own sort of room. And it's, I don't know how to say it, it's not really decorated differently, but a lot of the cases in the library have glass coverings, and everything in that direction has glass coverings with ironwork going over all of the bookcases, and looks like it goes back into an area.
What do you see, McKinney?
Well, you're a man who knows about locks and things. Take a look
Yeah.
at this. This looks like they're trying to stop people from getting into this stuff.
Oh yeah. Don't want you breaking the glass. Yeah, let's go check that out.
All right. You get over to where those books are, and indeed, they are all in locked cabinets. They've got thick glass, and they've got something so that even if you break the glass, you can't reach in and pull out the books.
Well, I think we're in the right place. Is there padlocks or something on these bookcases? How
Not-
are they?
They're key locks.
I have lockpicks. I don't know why I grabbed them as props, but
Lockpick guy.
All right, let's find the best. Let's find the biggest, best books, and then
Oh
pick that
yeah.
case.
Don't want to unlock all of these. Just
Bibles, buddy. I read about it in the papers. Old Bibles written by some guy called Gutenberg.
I'm pretty sure anything.
You find a
with that.
Bible he wrote, that's the one to get.
I thought all the Bibles were written by God, but I haven't been to church, so I don't know.
Well, I guess this Gutenberg, he was like some old Jewish guy who knew God from like way back.
Oh, really?
He wrote them all out.
Huh.
He's big time famous.
It's the real deal.
Yeah.
They might have a
Moses
Gutenberg Bible.
Gutenberg.
You might have a Gutenberg Bible at the Miskatonic Library.
All right. Well, we're looking for. We got this nice leather-bound, gold-vinted dark brown. Let's look for another one like that.
Yeah. Old. Old books is expensive books.
Well, most
It's
of
like
the ones
old
in these
wine is expensive wine.
most of these books in this section look like they're old, big, and valuable. You do notice that there is a section towards the back that has, in a sign that sticks out, it says occult.
There we go.
All righty.
Found my lockpicks.
Nice. Maybe we
All
can
right.
there. Where it's saying something about a cult. Would those be valuable though? I mean, that's just hocus pocus stuff, right?
Well, hey, this book is all hocus pocus too, but they pay a pretty penny for it.
Yeah, good point. Maybe we should try cracking it open.
All right. So go ahead and try to lockpick one of the cases.
That's a 13. That's an
All right.
extreme success.
You open up the case. There are quite a few books in there. But you suddenly get this sort of odd, overwhelming feeling, Skinny Johnson.
We don't want this one.
What do you mean we don't want this book?
No. There's another case over here, I think. Yeah, I have a feeling about this. So yeah, keep going.
Is there
Leave these
anything
books
good in
untouched.
here?
This is not the golden goose. More like a
Yeah,
silver
but-
goose. We want the golden goose.
But gift horse and mouth, and
Yeah, but
I mean,
more
I'll
good
look
horses.
I'll look in this cupboard.
All right.
What's
All right.
in the cupboard?
Various old Spanish and Latin manuscripts from the 14th and 15th century. You can't read any of them. None of them are in English.
I'm looking for shiny.
Well, some of them look like they're in pretty good condition. Some of them have gold leaf on the the
Right.
spine, the title.
I'm
Things like
gonna
that.
take a gold leaf one. That looks good.
All right,
I'm telling you,
Skinny.
back here.
Skinny, both you and McKinney seem to be drawn to a particular case that has actually a padlock on it, and it says restricted across the top of the case.
Hey, restricted and rare.
That
Those are
sounds
similar
like an
words.
invitation to me.
All right, Mr. Padlock. See how you do.
How'd you do?
Dun, 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 dun. 23. That's a hard.
All right. Once again, rather easily, you pop the lock. Inside, there are a number of shelves with a number of texts. And as your hand sort of reaches forward, it's almost as if something lifts your hand up to a particular book. And what you pull down is something called Liber Evonis. At least that's what it says on the title.
This thing says Liber Ivory or something. I don't know.
It's a big fat thing.
Cracking this open. See if it looks like the other one.
All right. You crack it open, and as you expose the pages to the air, the ink on the pages begins to fade away. it literally, within a couple of seconds, the page is blank.
Oh.
What's that? Skinny. What's going on?
I thought there'd be words on this book, but there aren't now. We gotta be careful about opening these.
They're books. What's gonna happen?
Well, look, this book's blank. I'm gonna grab another one.
Yeah,
But first, there's gotta be some page in here. This
So
book
you
is the
notice
whole
Johnson is now taking the book, and he's started at the beginning, and he's going page by page. And you can see that there's writing on the page, and when he turns the page, it starts fading away. You can all do sanity rolls.
Oh, I'm by the door, kind of guarding
Oh,
it.
you're by the door, so you don't.
Yeah.
book. Ooh, a 94.
Thieving's not my. I
That's a
bang
fade.
heads.
All right. If you fail, do a 1d3.
And what's a pass?
Just take 1 point of damage. It's weird.
Well, my 1d3 resulted in a 1. So this is weirding me out. Where
I
else?
mean, you don't know how.
What else is there here?
It's
in
probably
this?
written in that invisible ink or something.
Oh, you're right, Vince.
McKinney, you're standing there. You turn around and look at the bookcase, and it almost once again feels as if your hand is drawn to a certain book. It's got a red leather binding. You pull it out, and it says it's got some long name, one single word, or 2 words in maybe German. Do any of you know any German?
Patron.
Yeah, Achtung, Tommy Atkins, Englander.
Well, if you were to try and pronounce it, it would be something like "un aussprechlichen Kulten."
Panzerfaust.
And you
Hey,
get the urge. You get the urge to turn the pages.
This one sounds down dirty by the looks of it. Yeah, I'm gonna have a look through this. Are there
Right.
any pictures?
This one does have pictures in it.
Right.
Some rather bizarre and graphic pictures of what look like witchcraft rituals and some sort of dog-like beasts and things like that. However, you only get a chance to sort of glance at the pictures, and the pages fade.
Holy shit,
The same
mother
thing.
of catfish! This one's doing the same thing.
Keep it down in there. We're trying to lay low.
This is a. I think this is some kind of security thing.
Oh, I mean, maybe.
I think
I've never seen something like it. I've
All
never
the
stolen books
writing's
before.
disappearing off the pages.
Well, here, break out your other book. Is its writing still there?
The one we got from the house.
Yeah.
I'll look at that.
Yes, the Necronomicon seems fine.
Yeah, this one's fine. There's got to be something here.
In fact, it seems better than fine, almost like it's in a brand new book. Still, it looks exactly the same. It's still an old book and written in Latin, but the pages are nice and crisp. Everything is.
Well, I'm still gonna put the book I had in a bag.
All
and
right.
I'm gonna start looking for another one.
All right.
Yeah, maybe stop opening them.
You're drawn to one that's called the Book of Eod.
The Book of
I'm gonna
Eo.
put Unky Spunky Colton back on the bookshelf. That ain't no good. It's all blank.
Gretzky, you hear the dog bark out front a couple times.
I kind of peer around the corner into the open area. Do I see any security guards or anybody inside?
You see a security guard. He's walked up to the dog and he's petting it. You can see that through the window. But he doesn't seem like he's checking anything out, but he's right outside.
Guys, gotta get security's just outside. Keep low. I step behind the corner, so if anyone comes through the door, into our room, I'll club them over the head, put all my might into it. knock them out.
All right. Doesn't look like
Again.
anybody's coming inside.
Still,
Any of the
being
books
security
in
here.
I feel like grabbing. After I want to flip through this one too. I don't know. I like
All right.
Maybe we should get one that's actually got some words in it.
All right, let me check this one to see if it has any words. This book
That
of,
is germane to the whole business of a book, after all.
Hey, you're not wrong, McKinney.
Each
No,
of
you
the
put
books,
the German book up there.
each of the books that you're drawn to, you have the compulsion to open them up and turn the pages. You don't. You can use a power roll to counter that if you want to force yourself not to open the pages. But the next one you grab is De Vermis Mysteries, another Latin tome.
All right, I want to try to not open this one so the words don't go away. That's an 06.
All right, so you managed to keep that one closed and stick it in your bag.
That's a damn good idea you got there.
Yeah, don't
maybe
open them up and let us
if we
get
don't open them, then whatever it is ain't triggered, and maybe we can sell them. Yeah, I'm gonna try and do that myself.
All
Eat
right.
it up, guys. Eat it
You
up.
reach for something that's called the Solano Fragments.
Okay. 73. No, I gotta take a look. Damn.
How badly did you fail?
Well, I rolled 73, and my POW is 42 now.
All right. So our difference is, I'm really bad at math.
28.
That's a difference.
Or
That's a
no,
difference of 31.
All right. You do that, and Gretzky, Vince, and Johnson, you all take 10 POW points of damage.
Oof.
And you do manage to keep from opening the book. But now you guys are getting kind of book heavy.
All right. Just one last one. One last one. Is there any book in here that looks like the book we already have? Because that book is spectacular.
You have a funny feeling that there is a case, a display case somewhere here in the back. It's not a bookcase. It's a floor case that sits up.
All right.
And
I'm
in
gonna
fact,
find that.
you find that, and laying in the book, there's a big title over it that says Necronomicon.
Hey. Is there like a lock or something?
Didn't we just steal that already?
Yeah, but a second, two of them?
This one looks
Ooh.
a lot older and not in as good condition.
Well, I still think it's worth taking.
Older means more money. Telling you.
All right, is there
Yeah,
a lock
let's
on
pick
this here
that up.
case?
Yeah, there is a lock on it, but it's a different kind of lock. It looks like the entire case has to open when you undo this lock to get to the book.
I still want to try.
All right, go ahead.
53 is just a regular pass.
All right. So you manage to unlock it and open up the case. And as you do, the Necronomicon that's in the case, you're looking at the pages. They almost look like they're glowing for a moment, and then the entire book crumbles into dust in front of you.
Oh, damn. I guess that's why it was in a case.
Yeah, but you think they would have put something on it like, don't open me.
Yeah, fragile. Do
That's
not
their
open.
fault.
God
Their
damn it.
fault that we lost a paycheck. All right.
We need to get out of here.
Yeah,
This
let's
has
go.
been
Let's
a
go.
disaster. Still, at least we got the 2 books we ain't opened. Let's just take that.
Yeah, let's go.
The rest of them, screw them.
Go.
We got the 1 we took earlier. We got the 2 we ain't opened.
Let's go.
Some schmo's gonna buy these 2 books, man. I'm telling you.
All right. As you guys are walking back into the library part, you see that Gretzky is looking out the window.
Hey, what you looking at, Worm? Huh?
Yeah, the security's out there with the dog.
Well, that's
Just
why
trying
we're
to-
gonna lead out.
Damn
Come
it.
back.
We should go. Try to go the other way. Maybe we can go out the back window or something.
Hey, no, just the door we came in, the back janitor.
Yeah, we just walk out.
Okay, all right. Let's just go.
We're walking around the university with some books. We could be professors for all he knows.
Yeah, we look very professorial.
Yeah,
Crazy academics.
that's right.
Sure.
All right.
Let's go.
You walk out the back, close the doors, and you realize you can't go back the way you came because you'd be going back around the front and going. I mean, you could if you wanted to take the chance, but what do you guys want to do?
Nah, I don't want to take the chance. We'll
Yeah,
just
All right.
go another way in the campus. It's a
take the
big
long way
campus.
around.
Right, you can go all the way around the campus on the outside. So I'm going to do a luck roll. All right, so you guys are walking along the pathway through the campus, and all of a sudden, maybe a couple of 100 feet away, you notice another security guard, and he sees you walking. It's very late, so he suddenly starts heading in your direction. What do you guys want to do?
Does he see all of us?
Yeah, you're all kind of walking together.
Hey, Gretzy. Just go greet him real firmly, you know. Just
Yeah, I was thinking, but I don't want to do it out in the light. If we can kind of meander in the direction of some darkness, maybe we could like go into the darkness, if you know what I mean. And then
I don't know what you mean, but I'm sure that was very profound.
we could do. I could greet him there. I recommend we just kind of go casual, not look all panicked.
Look, we're walking around a university carrying books. What could be more natural than that?
So he's closing. Does the security guard look like he's closing with urgency, or just kind of coming over to check us out, say hi?
Well, he is kind of urgent. He wants to. It's obviously he probably wants to know what you're doing out this late of night. You also don't look like kids.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're pretty sure he's going to walk right up and he's going to want to know who you are and probably ask for your IDs.
Okay. All right. Well, what's the terrain like around us? Can we kind of go into a tree clumpy area with park benches, like something like that, or is it all just clear?
It's a
lawns
college
and buildings?
campus, so there are trees, but there's single trees in the middle of little quadrangle fields and stuff. There's not like any place to hide.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
We
Well,
just have to,
And
Yeah.
the buildings all around you too are probably filled with students, that are sleeping right now in their dorms. There might
So-
even be a few lights on.
yeah. Let's try to
I got
walk.
this. I got this. Look, I got this. Don't worry about this. Security guards, they're lower than cops. Most of them wear slip-on shoes because they can't tie the laces.
Gentlemen,
Don't worry. Good afternoon. Good evening, sir. How can I help you?
what are you folks doing out this late? Oh, sorry, I'm choking.
McKenny, maybe you can sell him a lozenge for that cough.
Yeah, slap him on the back or something.
just wait for him to just choke to death. Don't have to say
Yeah, that's it. We'll just stand around waiting for the security guard to choke himself to death, and then we'll leave. What could be easier than that? We're
See,
visiting professors from the University of Ant Hill. In Des Moines.
We're the ones with the in the voice. Poor Tom's the one.
We're experts in the study of throat cancer.
leading breakthrough
You got a point
studies.
there.
We're leading researchers in the study of laryngitis. My name is Professor Deirdre Barlow. Despite the sound of my voice, I am a beautiful 19-year-old young woman.
Right.
Unfortunately,
right.
I discovered cigars when I was 6 years old.
Real tragedy.
And now you sound like the baby from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
That's right, with a little touch of the Reverend Jim.
Just a dash.
Just a soup song.
You added Reverend Jim to taste.
Pass the Parmesan.
That's a shame Tom's gonna cut this part out.
Yeah.
That's one of the phrases I use to practice my accent. I say,
I hope he's cut. I
pass
hope
the
he's cutting this
Parmesan.
out. I hope he's
And
cutting
yeah,
this
and that's
out.
why I can't stand Tom. Oh, he's back.
Good
Once
evening,
in a
good
while.
sir. We are visiting academics. How may we assist you?
What are you doing on campus this late at night? You don't look like students.
No, we are not students, sir. We have been visiting with Professor Tamlifner and discussing these interesting tomes we brought with us from Des Moines, wherever that is.
Yeah. That's the ticket.
I believe it's somewhere in the Midwest.
He suddenly starts to look really suspicious of you.
What are you looking at me like that, my good man? Have you never encountered a working-class academic before?
Look, where did you get those
I
books?
must.
Hey,
What do you mean,
listen,
where did we get those books?
I'm going to punch him.
I bought this book from a book dealer some time ago.
All right, Skinny.
I should clarify. I should correct my RPG speech. I'm going to attempt to punch you.
All right.
I've known lots of book dealers.
Oh, 83. Nowhere near enough.
Really?
Look at my friend flailing
Oh,
around.
man.
He has a
Okay,
touch of
it's about
St. dance.
Do this.
In fact, that is a, let's see, 38 off.
38 divided by 3. 10, 12, 13. We'll say 13 points.
Oh, no.
So 13 POW points from the rest of you.
Oh, that's catastrophic.
And you punch him square in the face, and he goes down. He goes flying backwards when you do it.
I don't feel so good.
What are you guys going to do?
All right, we got to get out of here. Actually, make sure he's unconscious first. Is he unconscious?
Not probably. No. Well, do your damage. How much damage? Did you do?
3.
Yeah, you heard him, and he's completely. I mean, he's down. He won't be able to get up again for a couple of rounds.
All right. Let's just get out of here. I'm running.
What
No
happens
complaints from me.
when POW zeroes out?
When POW zeroes out, you do absolutely everything anyone tells you to do.
Oh, so I'm
Without
really
it.
close. So I'm like, okay, that sounds good.
You're very compliant. You have no will of your own.
Sure. Okay, want to go? All right. Yeah, okay.
All right. So you guys are running across campus. Very quickly, you run off into the darkness, down a side street, and off into the city. So where are you heading? You are heading to your safe place, I think?
Yep. Back to my apartment.
Safe
Yep,
place.
let's go.
Good. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, let's call it a night.
All right. So what you have to do is you're going to run out of the campus district. You can either run through the merchant district or you can run through French Hill to the river district. Either one will take you to the river district.
Well, we're gonna walk. We're gonna walk through the district that we know generally has more night traffic.
Okay, the French Hill has a lot of people living in it. Merchant District obviously has no people living in it.
All right, French Hill. Walk
There's
back.
also a lot of immigrants, a lot of probably more criminal activity there than most other places in town, except maybe for the River District, since they're right next to each other. All right, so in the French District, nobody pays any attention to you at all because they don't want to. You know, everybody minds their own business. So within an hour, you are at probably within 20 minutes or so, you're at your safe house in the River District.
Wow, what a wild night, gentlemen.
I'm ready to call it there.
So let's see what you guys were fussing about. You got
Don't open those two books. Don't open them.
What are their books? What are you talking
No,
about?
here, I brought one of the blank ones. I brought the first one I opened.
They're treated with something. We need someone who knows how to open them.
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
some kind of
Gretzky, look at this
special.
one.
You
It's
open
all
it
blank.
up, it all disappears.
Yeah, this one's already blank.
What's it look like?
If he's handing you, like, let's say, what was the first one? Liber Vonis. It's blank. It's an old book. The pages are old, but nothing's written on any of them.
It's blank.
Yeah, we don't want to open the other ones because as we were turning the pages, they faded. The words faded. So
Now, where is the Necronomicon? It's still Kim McKinney has it, but he probably still doesn't have it shoved up under his shirt. You're now inside the safe house.
It's now out on the table with the fragments book that I didn't open.
There's something at first when you pull out the Necronomicon and you lay it down. there have been changes to it, specifically to the binding of the book. It was fairly smooth when you first acquired it, and now these little sort of wrinkles have shown up in the cover itself. It's taken on a very unwholesome sort of look to it. You almost think that there's a face in the book itself on the cover. Definitely an area that could be like eyes and a mouth, except not actual mouth or eyes, more like the skin of a human face that had been stretched over the book.
Oh, heck.
what's the matter? Smooth.
You don't remember it looking like that.
What does this remind you of?
Well, let's see.
It reminds me of a nice paycheck we're getting. What are you? Now it's got a little bit of a smile on it. How cute. That's kind of an odd choice for a book cover.
It's a bit disturbing.
That's weird.
Hey,
I don't like it.
This cover is leather.
What's it feel like? Does it feel like leather?
It feels like a soft leather. Now, I want you to all do intelligence rolls.
27, that's a hard success.
80, that's a hard miss.
Success.
Okay.
Oh, 60. I made it.
Okay, so for everybody except Gretzky, who looks a little sort of dazed, he's got just kind of a blank look on his face. It occurs to you that this is the most success you've ever had in an evening. I mean, there's always hitches in jobs that you run, but tonight everything seemed to work perfectly. Every lock opened for you. Everything you were looking for, you found. It doesn't seem probable.
Yeah, it's all been a little, well, we've been quite lucky tonight.
Just want to get a good night's sleep. I'm not feeling well.
I don't know. Maybe we keep this up.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
Sounds good to me.
What do you think, Smooth?
Yeah, okay.
I mean, you guys
Yeah,
can
I'm down with it.
you can decide if you're tired or not.
I don't know if
If
I'm
you're
tired,
not.
but damn, I got a headache.
All right. So what do you want to do then?
Let's call it a night.
Okay. That
All
sounds
right.
good too.
All right.
I'm a little tired. I think that's a good idea.
Gretzky. Do a power roll.
Yeah. Out of 3, huh? 96.
You have very vivid dreams. You see a desert, and you see an old man. He's dressed like what you imagine Arab people would dress like. He's in kind of a loose-fitting white robe. It's not really white. It's off-white. It's a little dirty. He has a very long beard. It's a little raggedy, and he seems to be standing in the desert on a rock. There's nothing around him, and he's talking to the air around him, and it's all in whispers, and you don't understand what it is that he's saying, but you hear noises that sound like insects that sort of buzz around him. And he does this for a few moments, and then he walks over to a place where he has this book, and it looks nothing like the one that you have, nothing like the one that you saw in the library, but it's a very old sort of thing. It's almost scrolls. It's scroll-like. It's loose papers, all vellums, and he's writing stuff in it which you don't understand. It's not in English, and it doesn't look like it's in the language that's in the book. But you get the distinct feeling that there are things in the air around him that are speaking to him. You can almost hear them. And you can hear that whatever they're saying is terrible. It's absolutely horribly terrible. And you wake up in the morning just sweating profusely. And the rest of you sleep pretty soundly.
Oh, God.
So you wake up in the morning. Gretzky is the last one to wake up, though. The rest of you wake up beforehand.
Hey, Gretzky. They call you the worm because you know you're not an early bird, so nobody gets the worm or something.
Oh, God. What a horrible dream. Had the weirdest dream. This old man is like he's an Arab in the desert in robes, standing up on a rock. He was like going through and writing a really old book.
I wouldn't worry about it, Gretzky.
Sure was so real, though. So real. Those horrible insects.
Forget about it.
They were like,
insects.
yeah, God, horrible.
All right. So you're in there this morning. You're kind of laying low. They deliver a newspaper to the front door, which they do. On the front end of the paper, Miskatonic University robbed.
Heck. That didn't take long, did it?
No, I mean, some librarian lady probably showed up and was like, Where's all my books?
Or maybe that god.
Or the god.
And he got a good look at all of us.
Nah, I won't worry about it.
You did clock him good. Not bad, Skinny.
There's also an article on the second page. There was a robbery in Uptown last night. Another rare book was stolen from a Mr. Kenning. Police are on the lookout for 4 fugitives that are not, I don't know if you call that, you're not fugitives, 4 criminals. And they,
4 suspects.
Yeah.
suspects.
Innocent until proven guilty, Tom. So we're all innocent because nobody's proved us guilty.
I didn't see anything.
1923, they'll just throw you in jail anyway.
Hey.
With our previous rap sheets.
Well, therein lies therein is the rap. You all have previous rap sheets. Some of you have been in jail. They know what you guys do as far as your current crimes. So do all the criminals in town. So does the mob. So does whoever Kenning is affiliated with. They don't know where your safe house is.
All right,
We
so we're
got
just
it.
gonna have to lay low here till we can sell the book on Friday, and then we skip town.
Yeah.
That was our original idea. We got a little carried away.
It'll all work out fine. We just got to keep our cool, keep our heads. Don't no one do nothing silly.
I got this deck of cards.
Crack him
There
out.
you go. We'll just play a few relaxing rounds of Go Fish, and everything will be fine.
Yeah. We'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
Put the
Fine.
book over here, and on
And,
Friday,
and the keeper leaning close to the
Deliver it.
camera makes me feel really good about our choice.
yeah,
Everything will be
That's-
fine.
that's always reassuring.
A
And
game
I
of
like
luck.
the way he's looking up like that, as if to
Oh,
say,
pondering.
"Ha ha! You guys are in for it now, you palookas."
Just trying to figure out how I should handle a game of luck.
No, Go Fish is all skill. You gotta
I
read.
think
you can
I
see the
I
Tui from their
caught whatever
eyes.
that security guard had.
All right. Let's say this is Tuesday. This is Wednesday now. Let's say that you lay low for Wednesday. Thursday morning comes, and once again, Gretzky, you've had very bizarre dreams. There are things that are invisible to the eye that live out in the waste places that smell horrible and wander in the lonely places.
Wants to hear about them. Damn buggers.
On Thursday, we'll say around 11 in the morning, I want you all to do listen rolls.
Oh, God.
72 is not gonna pass.
All right.
Neither will 62. I don't hear nothing.
Nobody hears anything?
In the 90s. Embarrassing.
You two, McKinney?
Yeah, I rolled an 88.
All right. So who's closest to their actual success roll?
I was 22 off.
That's more than me, or
Right.
less than me.
I ain't nowhere near.
All right.
All right, so I'm the
Yeah,
closest.
68.
Do I
So-
spend 22 points of luck?
No, each of you, other than Skinny, is going to lose 7 points of power. So, Gretzky, are you down to 0?
Yeah, I'm negative. I'm into the negatives.
You're just at 0. You will now go along with whatever anybody suggests.
Okay.
You don't have to agree with. Oh, yes, you do. All right. So, Skinny, you're the only one who hears it. What you hear is a car pulling up suspiciously slowly outside in the street.
Peek through the blinds.
Right. You peek through the blinds. It's a cop car. And they're pulling up like they're getting ready to run out and do a raid or something like that. In front of your place. They're trying to be quiet.
The cops are going to raid this building. We gotta get out of here.
Yep. What do you want to do?
Do we know of a way out that's not where the cops are going to be coming?
Yeah, there's a back door. Sure, you got escape routes.
We're going to take an escape route.
Oh, so you're letting us know? You're not going to just slip out the back?
Yeah, no, I take all the books and then I leave these fools for themselves. No, y'all come with me.
Oh, fuck, it's the fuzz.
So I'm just scooping up stuff and I'm fast walking out of here.
Yeah, let's go. Hit the
If the
road.
others don't follow me, then I'm leaving them behind.
All right. You get to the back door and peek out, and you suspect that there's some people hiding out there too.
Damn, it looks like they got the place surrounded. We gotta hide.
Okay.
So I'm gonna find somewhere where I can hide.
All right, well, there's probably a basement, but if you go down there, you're going to be completely trapped.
It's just, I'm telling you, just wait it out. We don't even know they're here for us.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, well, let's stash the books under the floorboards.
Nice and easy.
They could
let's
be
head
here
back
for
up.
that guy. They could be here for that guy upstairs. Mad Cyril.
That's true.
You know what he's like.
Noise complaint or something? Yeah.
Yeah. He ate an old lady's armoire last year. I don't even know what an armoire is, but it sounds like something you shouldn't be eating.
All right. You see, you guys are at the back door now. You can see that there's a cop creeping around the next house, but he's heading in your direction towards the back door. What do you guys want to do? You're kind of trapped at the moment.
I'll step around the corner so no one can see inside
I'll
and
just
see me.
lock this door if it's not already locked, and then slip away. Yeah, really, I just want to go find somewhere to hide.
I'm gonna check that my dinky little pistol is loaded.
All right.
So I'm loading my Derringer.
Well, I'm gonna go look for a window. First
Okay.
window. So when the
There are
cops
quite a
come in, I'm gonna go out a window.
All right. Well, how about the rest of you?
Well, Skinny's got the bag, so I'm going to follow Skinny.
All right. You know that they're going to break in a few moments.
How many windows are there to escape? Just that one?
No, there's a few.
Oh, okay, I'll go to the adjacent window.
All right. You can almost feel the moment as it happens. There's a thud thud, and then the doors, both the front and the back door, bust open by the police, kicking them in. And at the same time, you guys slip out the window. I'm not going to have you roll because you were ready to do it. And you make a run for it. It's daytime. And there are probably other cops in the neighborhood. So immediately you start hearing whistles blowing as you're running. You manage to, you know this neighborhood really well. So you manage to dive in and out of alleyways and running. And we'll just say that for 10 minutes or so, it's touch and go as to whether you're going to get caught. Gretzky, I would like you to do a luck roll.
Yeah, I can do that. That's more than 3. Let's see what we get. 55 out of out of 49.
So you don't make your luck roll?
Missed it by 6.
Okay. There comes a moment when one of the cops yells at you. He goes, "Stop where you are!" And you do, because you have no will of your own.
I'm not looking back. I'm running.
All
I
right.
don't want to be looking back.
Do I have any inkling of my old self of eat lead copter?
Well, I was going to say do a POW roll, but you don't have any POW.
Can I look? I'm looking back.
All right.
Do I see him?
Yeah, you see Gretzky when the guy yells, "Stop where you are." Gretzky's just sort of like, "Oh, okay." And he just stands there waiting for the cop to come.
Gretzky, you moron! Get a move on!
And you do. Oh, you start running. All right. So,
do I perceive a threat? Am I able to perceive the threat from it, or I'm just kind of like, oh, okay, tell me to go, I'm going?
Yeah, I don't think you're worried at all.
Oh, okay. All right, so I just start sprinting. All right, and I'll head towards McKinney too. He's the one that yelled that.
Right. All right. Need a luck roll. I'm going to say that you lose the cops, but you don't stop running. You get the hell out of Rivertown. You go back into French Court, the French Hill. It's like a maze of buildings. The alleyways were all the buildings were all built back when there were just horse-drawn carriages, and so there's like no room for cop cars or anything in this area.
In our large and extensive repertoire of contacts and nefarious associates, do we know anyone in the French Hill area with whom we might hide?
Those girls, McKinney. I want to go talk to some girls. I think that we would be able to just lay low there, perhaps.
Oh, the ladies at Madame Wong's.
Yeah.
The Blue Orchid, I believe it was called.
Yeah.
We just need to see one more night, and then on Friday we can get out of here.
Let's hope we got enough
Place with the
moolah.
cops around.
All right. So you head towards the Blue Orchid. You get the distinct feeling, though, that somebody's watching you guys. You talked about having contacts. You all have contacts. However, if the criminals are on to you and they're looking for you, then your contacts aren't really trustworthy at this point. Especially if McKinney, the first guy, Thomas Kenning, has put out a kind of a bounty on your heads.
All right, hear me out, guys. If we all just get train tickets, we just go somewhere else for a day and we come back.
You can get train tickets to anywhere. from here?
Yeah, just go down to Boston. Or take a... I hear there's this bus that goes to this port place that's pretty weird. Don't know anybody looking for us there, but I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, what are people expecting us to do?
Well, we got
Gotta do-
Friday.
I don't think anybody would expect us to take that bus.
Yeah,
Or maybe not. I don't like that bus.
maybe get a cab up there or something.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea.
It's about an hour to Boston from here.
Maybe even.
What we gotta
Yeah,
do
'cause it
is do the unexpected.
All right, so I'm telling you, there's this bus. I've seen it. Only like 2 people get on or off on a given day. I mean, nobody takes that.
All right, let's try it out.
All right.
Okay.
So you're going to get on the bus to Innsmouth.
Yeah, yeah. Never heard of the place. Nobody was looking for us there.
All right. The bus
Get
to
a-
Innsmouth.
Get a nice hot meal, settle down, and then put this all behind us tomorrow.
There are a number of other people that get on the bus to Innsmouth, and they all look rather queer. Everybody has everybody thinks about Innsmouth people as being rather odd looking. Their eyes are a little too big, a little too far apart. Their mouths are a little too wide.
Yeah, but they're not part of those criminal circles, so they're not going to turn us in.
All right.
They might not.
You take the basic schedule is you can take the bus to Innsmouth, and the bus will stay there for a couple of hours, and then it returns back to Arkham, and then it does the same thing the next day. So you're committing on being there for at least 24 hours, unless
Yeah,
you're going
no,
to come
that's
back on
fine.
the bus. All right.
That's fine.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good to me.
You take the bus into Arkham. Into Innsmouth. It's a small fishing village. There are people look at you as if they're not exactly pleased that strangers are in their town. But there does seem to be an old hotel.
Yeah, what you looking at?
All right,
Yeah,
well,
that'll-
this
that'll do
hotel
me.
seems fine and old. Do we look for us here?
The guy behind the counter, you get the distinct impression that he's almost a frog of a human. He's very ugly, has lots of warts on his skin. His mouth is way too wide. But for the price he gives you, they do have a couple of rooms.
Perfect.
Yeah, good place to lay low. Yeah, perfect. Oddly, I agree right with you.
You go up to the bedrooms, and they are not in very good condition. The mattresses are a little musty smelling. Doesn't look like anybody's stayed in the room for months. But it's cheap and it's a hiding place. Do you all hang out in the same room, or do you just go to your respective rooms? I mean, it's still daytime. It's afternoon.
I just want to hang out. I don't want to be walking around still.
Yeah,
All right. So let's just figure out who's in whose room. Who's with Gretzky?
I'll go with Gretzky. I spent time in the big house with him. I know his little habits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
McKinney, you notice there's definitely something off with Gretzky lately. He used to be more aggressive. Now he seems far less aggressive.
Yeah, you feeling okay, Worm?
Just a little. I just need a good night's sleep. The last couple of nights I had these horrible dreams. I just want this all behind me.
If you say so.
All right. And Vince and Skinny, you're in the other room. However, you guys said you're all hanging out together. So we'll just say you're in Vince and Skinny's room.
Yeah, well, these if we get doors next to each other, this hotel has these nice like connecting doors.
There's a connecting door, yeah.
Nice.
But the locks on the door aren't really locks. They're just basically hooks and eyes. You know,
that's
they could easily
fine.
be taken apart with a screwdriver.
This is just a pretty
You
well,
know,
it's a rat
Skinny.
hole, but it's fine.
All right.
Skinny,
Yeah, what?
if I had known that you were going to bring us to this fish-smelling hellhole, I wouldn't have agreed.
Hey, I
would
didn't know
not
where the
have
bus
agreed.
went. I don't know what brought us to this.
I wanted
place.
a nice hot meal, and this place, you smell that?
Well, hey, they would have
I
given you a
guarantee
nice
they
hot
don't got
meal maybe
anything here to
in
eat
jail.
except fish.
Yeah, we might get that lobster we were speaking about earlier.
Hey, clams. But hey, look, this is just temporary. Nobody's gonna come look for us here. Nobody cares. We've given these people plenty of business. We'll be fine.
All right.
The single lamp in the room, the shade of which looks moldy and green, doesn't cast much light in the room. And all of a sudden, you are aware that somebody is in the room with you. He steps out of the shadows. He's dressed in a long brown robe with a hood. He steps out of the shadows and throws back the hood, and he says, "Gentlemen, where is my book?" And you see that it's Brophy.
Hey, what do we talked about Friday? I'm a little surprised to see you here.
Where have you taken my book?
We have it with us.
But you're not in Arkham any longer.
Look, the cops are
We had
after
to lay
us.
low.
Yeah, we were gonna come back.
Make
you
sure
didn't
you
expect-
do.
You don't expect we're just going to hang around and get arrested. How are you going to get your book then?
Well, make sure that you do, or this. And he raises his hand like this, and suddenly Gretzky, it's as if somebody has grabbed a hold of your stomach and started twisting it like this inside your body.
Why don't we just give him the book now?
Gentlemen, I'm not actually here. And you see
Yeah,
him.
you're not all here.
Well, you see him once again raise his hand and do something, and you all suddenly feel this racking pain inside your bodies. He says, understand that I can kill you with a thought. Make sure that you're there tomorrow night, or I will. And then suddenly, he just sort of fades back into the shadow, and he's gone.
I'm gonna make a sanity test.
Yeah, you can do a sanity test.
I failed.
Hey!
Hey, you made it.
Triple
I
zeros.
think I
That's the
might
best roll in the
justify-
game, right?
Yep, I just failed.
Hey, 000 is great.
000, I'll have you do a 1d4. A 1d4 plus 1.
For a regular
Plus
fail,
4.
just 1d4.
What's that?
That's
What about a regular fail?
Just a 1d4.
Pass?
Oh,
Yeah, 1d4.
Even
four.
for pass?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I wanted there to be a risk if you failed.
I lost 4 points of sanity. I'm very, very disturbed. What the hell was that, guys?
There's got to be something in the water.
Oh,
What did we get ourselves into?
It's probably
Was some fella's ghost. Well, that was that fella's ghost.
hey, maybe it's the mold in the room. It's making us hallucinate.
Yeah, and also my stomach feels like it's ready to come out. That hurt like a motherfucker.
Jeez. I tell you guys, am I the only one who's really hungry as well?
yeah.
When was the last time any of us ate?
It's been a while.
Well, I haven't
wonder
eaten
if,
anything since we came to this hellhole.
Well, let's go find some food. I'll go ask the man downstairs if there's anywhere to eat.
I wasn't that hungry, but yeah, for some reason that sounds like a great idea.
All right. You go downstairs to the concierge, Frogman,
Bonsoir.
and he says, "This ain't no fancy town. We don't have no restaurants or anything like that.
Not like a store or like a little cafe or something.
There's a pub,
A pub.
but I don't think they're gonna like the likes of you people in that
Well,
pub.
we have
What do you
money.
mean the likes of us? What, you got a lot of aristocracy passing through here?
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah, you're a wise guy, eh?
Why don't-
Alright,
Why don't
hey,
you get us some food?
Hey,
And
no,
we'll
we can
not
go
have
get-
this
hey,
escalate
hey,
anything.
Hey, Worm, just relax.
Okay, sure.
You're welcome to go out and take a look and see if you can find any.
Is there a
All right,
grocery
well-
store anywhere?
There's a general store in the middle of town.
All right. Well, thank you. I'll
I'll
go.
go see if that's open.
Go check.
If
it
I
out.
was you, I wouldn't stay out till after dark.
Alright. We won't stay out after dark. We'll
Right.
go
Yeah,
get our
Ma.
food.
Are you all going to go out?
Yeah.
Or you can leave the book.
No.
The hell I am.
Everything else could stay, but that one book.
All
I'm
right.
taking that with me. That stays with me until we give it to that creepy fella, get paid, and then get the hell out of here.
That sounds like a good idea.
And get the hell out of there.
You do, in fact, find a pub. And the people inside are fishermen. And it's a situation where when you walk through the door, the whole place goes dead silent. And people are staring at you like you're aliens from another planet. What do you do?
Just go walk up to the counter. They'd be like, hey, can we see a menu, please?
You want to see a what?
You got any food?
Yeah, food.
Go ahead and sit down.
How come a pub's open when prohibition's on?
Fuck you.
This is my kind of place. I like it.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah, I feel right at home.
Good.
You remind me of my mother.
Says we don't really sell food here, but we can give you a. God, I can't remember. Plowman's.
A plowman's.
Yeah,
Maybe a plowman's.
a
Plowman's lunch.
Plowman's
That-
lunch.
You mean that guy over there with the straw hat and the smock? We
don't
gotta
wanna
eat
steal
his
no food
lunch?
from- yeah, we don't want to be stealing no food from people here.
That old
You gotta-
1930s British comedy stalwart?
Have any
Basically-
shot gospel peculiar?
Basically some cheese and stuff on a plate.
That sounds fine.
That's
And-
fine by me.
And the alcohol that they have is rather odd. It's probably a whiskey of some sort, but it's definitely got a fish flavor to it.
What do you call this drink?
Fish juice.
Well, that's an apt name.
Tastes like it.
All right.
I just-
For the most part, you don't get bothered. That
Do you
evening.
have any Grey Poupon? I'm just ribbing you.
All right. You also notice that everybody in the place has that fishy look to them and fishy smell, but they don't have fishy slaw. All right, that was my attempt. All right, so the evening goes pretty much like that. You aren't all hunted down and taken to the esoteric Church of Dagon, though you do walk by it.
I don't know what you're talking about, Tom. I've never been to this town before, so.
Right. So we'll just say the morning
The
comes.
Church of Dagon. That sounds pretty esoteric, don't it?
Yeah, it does.
It's part of the title. So you end up sleeping the night very uncomfortably. You realize that your mattresses are even a little moist, which is not pleasant at all. You think at first that it's good that you've been sweating, but it's more like the bed's been sweating. You wake up the next morning reeking of fish, and you have to wait around half the day before the bus comes to take you back. The bus is here for 2 hours, at which time post is delivered to the post office, and the driver of the bus goes in for a drink. And then he drives you back to Arkham. So it is now Friday afternoon, about 4 p.m.
This is, let's see, not the 12th. This is the 13th then.
Yeah.
Yeah, Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
That sounds like a great title for one of those picture shows.
Now, I'd like you to all do PAL rolls. Yeah, Gretzky, you're going to go along with whatever.
85, that's a failure.
Did y'all fail?
Yep.
It's
Fail.
by 43.
Oh, hang on. I'm trying to roll the wrong dice here. Oh. I appear to have passed.
All right. Well, then, McKinney,
Somehow.
you can decide for yourself. But Vince and Johnson, you realize somehow that the book seems to be like a lucky charm, that whatever you've done, as long as you have the book with you, seems to work out for you. It starts to occur to you that maybe that's why this crime lord, if that's what he is, wants the book, because he can't fail. But it also means you can't fail, which means you could knock over a bank or anything and not fail.
I'd really like to not fail at getting caught by the mob.
Are they
Well, there's-
saying this out loud?
No, not really. They're realizing it, but you're realizing it too. It's more valuable than what the guy's being willing to pay you for it, if that's what the book does.
Yeah, but we could sell the other 2 old books we got. After we got rid of this, we can sell those other 2 books. We can make a pretty penny on them. And we can get out of here.
You know.
And if we
That's
do
a
that,
great
we
idea.
ain't got no one chasing us. If we
Yeah.
take his book, no matter how much we get for it, we're always going to have him and his goons. I mean, he hired us to get the book from that Kenning guy. We run with that book. He's going to hire some other schmucks to come after us. And he won't stop
Yeah,
until he
that's-
gets it.
That's fair.
He'll just keep, we can bump him off and he'll just keep hiring people and sending them until they get it.
Well,
You know,
Well, now
I'm talking the truth. You know I'm talking the truth.
yeah. But Skinny and I were talking on the bus, and we should probably do one more heist with a little Lucky Charm before we turn that thing in.
Are you fucking crazy?
That doesn't
You
sound.
don't think that we've had enough luck so far? You know, you just want to push
You don't
it.
think
You
it's gonna?
just
You don't
have-
think
you
that's
just
gonna
gotta
run
push
out?
it.
You don't think our
Well,
luck's
what?
gonna run out, do you?
I
You
don't think
it's. You don't think it's some sort of numerical stat that just drops when you use it?
What
I
are you talking about?
don't know. I don't know how it all works. There could be some invisible guy in the sky making all the calls and the decisions about our life, for all I know.
All right, and next you're gonna tell me we're all just a bunch of numbers on a piece of paper, monkey. You gotta relax.
Look, do you want to take this book back to the guy who paid us to steal it? Or do you want to induce some kind of nebulous existential crisis in us, in which you imagine that we're characters in some story or other?
I mean,
pull yourself together, man.
I mean, the thing that he did to our stomach last night somehow really hurts. So
I don't want to go through that no more.
Yeah,
the book, your lucky book didn't stop that, did it? He found us last night.
And I feel a little impressionable.
He came out of the fucking shadows.
Oh, that could have been hallucinogen. It could have been the mold, funny mold.
Whatever the fuck it was, it fucking hurt.
Yeah, ordinarily I'd say we should go back and grease the motherfucker, but I don't know what you guys are saying. Sounds fine with me.
Wait, you want to kill the guy?
Well, I mean, whatever you guys want to do, really. I could just go one way or the other. I wouldn't mind putting around in his head.
I say we take him the book, we get paid, we sell the other books we got. We got a nice little earner. Let's not fucking take any risks.
McKinney's talking.
I don't want to spend the rest of my life sleeping in fucking dives like that place every night, on the run.
Bro.
Getting like, and we ain't going to get anywhere near what that book's worth if we did sell it. And who the fuck would we sell it to? We sure as shit ain't going to sell it to the university.
Well, they are short one Necronomicon now.
It could sell the university their book back.
I want to spend as little time in Arkham as possible. We go in, we give the book back, we get the fuck out.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's go camp out.
Whatever we do next, we'll sort out tonight on the way out of Arkham.
Let's go camp out at the meeting spot.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So you head up into French Hill. You head up towards the top of French Hill. A lot of twisty, windy, tight little streets. A lot of them that you couldn't get any kind of vehicle. You could barely get a horse up them. Lots of immigrant families, lots of Italians, Lithuanians, Polish. This is where usually they go. You come between two buildings and find a cemetery. It's right on the very top of the hill. All of the gravestones are very old looking, lots of mausoleums, lots of big, tall obelisks with crosses and all sorts of things. Lots of skulls with wings, all these old 1600s motifs that you see. There is an iron gate that goes all the way around the cemetery. However, during the daytime, it's open. You just walk inside. It's actually rather peaceful. Lots of big shade trees, lots of overgrown areas. Lots of people have planted roses and things like that around the graves, and they're overgrown and they're covered with blooms. It's actually kind of lovely. It's very New England. You get to the very top and there are a couple of old mausoleums, but there's an obvious open area right at the top of the hill, which should be the area that he means for you to meet him. Vince and Skinny and Smooth do intelligence rolls.
A 38 is a hot success. I'm a very intelligent man.
I got me a pass here.
Okay. Well, from your own experience and from just sort of strategic planning, you could see that there's literally 100 places to take cover. You know, you're always thinking in terms of the cops finding you and having an escape route and the gun battle.
But hey, Gretzky, you're the toughest one of us.
Huh?
You know,
Hey.
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll all, when the time comes, we'll all be waiting down here among the stones, and we'll have you go hand the book to him.
Yeah, okay. That sounds like a great idea. And then I can kill him.
No.
Oh, okay. All right, so I get the book, bring it to the guy. Get the dough,
You
come
get
back.
Right, and then we leave.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. I can do that. Gee, it's so peaceful here.
All right. So you guys hang around. It gets darker in the cemetery faster than it does the rest of the city, even though you're on the top of a hill because of all of the dark, the big overgrown trees. The sun sets. It gets spooky. You avoid the caretaker, who you notice goes around and locks the gates around 9 p.m. And then he's got a cabin that he goes off to in the back, and he doesn't patrol or anything. He doesn't have a dog. Nobody comes into the cemetery in the dark anyway. Most of the people in this area are superstitious. They don't wander around in, in graveyards in the middle of the night. So, do you want to do anything before midnight?
I'm gonna walk around the meeting area and
You've probably
make
done
sure
that.
make sure there's no funny business. Just one last check.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ordinarily I'd case the joint, but I don't know if I have presence of mind for that sort of rationale.
It does occur to you that the gates are locked to the cemetery.
Well, our buyer wanted to meet us here. I'm sure he knows how he's gonna get in. That's not our job description.
All right.
Yeah, we're just here to hand this book over and get paid.
Now, Gretzky, you said, is standing in the middle,
Yeah, with the book,
and the rest
Good
of you
job.
are what? Hiding behind?
hiding behind stuff.
What he said, or wherever you are.
Yeah,
All right.
I am concealing my fashionable profile.
There is a moon out. It's rather bright. You can see wisps of nighttime fog sort of floating around the trees. You're standing in one of the spots where the moonlight's actually hitting you, so you're sort of illuminated by the moon. And suddenly, and without any kind of warning, about 10 feet in front of you, James Brophy is standing there in his robe. He didn't come from anywhere. He simply materialized. Gretzky, you can do a sanity roll.
Oh, crap.
And the rest of you, if you're actually watching, you can do a sanity roll.
All righty, 99.
I have failed with a 63.
I have passed with an 02.
Okay.
You're
If you
one
pass-
lucky fucker.
We'll do the same thing we did before. If you pass, do a 1d4. If you fail, do a 1d4 plus 1.
Oh, I lost 4.
Same here.
Lost 3 more.
So
Nobody lost
true.
5? All right. So you all jump when you see him.
That's spooky.
From your vantage points, you notice Mr. Brophy say, "Ah, Mr. Gretzky," and he looks around and he looks at all three of you, wherever you're hiding. He just seems to intrinsically know right where you are. And he says, "You have my book. There's no need to hide, gentlemen."
All right, yeah.
We'll step out.
We did you this service. We need to get paid.
Very good. Give me the book.
Do you
Yep,
have the money?
Kratzky does it. Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah. There.
All right. Gretzky, you start to walk forward with the book. And you don't realize it at first, but it almost starts to wiggle in your hand. And just before the book gets to Brophy, it flies up in the air, like something yanked it out of your hand. The page is open, almost like a bat, and the thing starts flying around your head like a bat. Brophy looks up and he looks rather startled. You look rather startled, and you all can once again do sanity rolls, but you could probably act before you're actually taking the sanity roll.
What the hell?
Swat at it.
Stop
Hell.
playing around and give him the book.
I feel my sanity.
The book dives at Brophy, and you see him, jump out of the way as it nearly hits him in the head. It's a big, heavy book. And then it immediately turns and starts going for Gretzky. It's going to try to hit you. I got 06. So you can try to dodge, but I don't think you're going to get. You're going to have to get
I'm pretty good. Oh, it's
How much sanity am I losing for failing watching this book?
just 1d2.
Ooh, actually, I'm pretty good at dodging. I pumped that. Ooh, I do it. I did a more than half. I do a hard dodge.
Okay, you'd have to get an extreme though.
Oh, okay.
Okay. The book hits you in the head rather hard, and you're going to take 1d3 damage. Oh, I guess I rolled that, don't I? I don't have my 1d3.
I'm gonna run forward and try to.
It hits you hard enough
ameliorate
to
the
where it
situation.
actually hits you. It gives you a good knock in the head. You get a 3 points of damage.
Damn, that was my favorite fedora.
All right, Vince, you said you're running forward.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Try and grab the book.
All right, go ahead and make a grab for it.
What would that be? Dex roll?
Let's call it fighting, like a grapple.
Okay. It's a fail.
All right. You reach up to grab for it, and something snaps at your fingers, and you pull your hand away, and you're bleeding a little. Do 1 point of damage. Skinny, what do you want to do?
I'm going to nonchalantly fade back into the gravestones.
Okay.
AKA running away.
McKinney, what do you want to do?
Well, if the book comes near me, I'm going to try and grab it.
Okay. Well, we'll say that it flaps over in your direction. Go ahead and try to grab it.
Hey, little buddy. Whoa. I rolled an 18 out of, I don't even know what my brawling is, 25.
Okay.
That's a regular success.
You actually get a hold of the one end of the cover, and it's flapping around in your hand like a bat. I keep saying a bat, but that's what it's most like. Brophy yells at you. He's like, give me that book. Give it to me. Like this.
It's all yours, buddy.
All right. Do a dex roll as you start getting it towards him.
95.
Okay. It yanks itself out of your hand and goes flying towards Brophy, who protects himself. And he's like, God damn it.
You want it, you grab it. Jesus.
The book seems to be physically attacking Brophy.
if I have presence of mind, I should be closest to him. I'll tackle the book.
You're going to try to tackle the book?
Yeah, I'm a pretty
right.
big guy, pretty strong.
All right, go ahead and try. And,
It's a brawl, correct?
brawl, yeah.
Okay, 34 out of 60.
Yeah, I got 17.
Oh, okay.
The book is going to attack you in the process. Let's see if it actually hits you. It doesn't, but it causes you to jump. The book is starting to get higher off the ground. None of you can reach it at this point. But Brophy's like, get me that book or you're all dead.
I pull my my automatic and put 2 rounds into it.
Okay. Go ahead and do a fire shot.
Take this, you damn book. God, I've got such a good chance to hit, and 95. Yeah.
Okay. You're
All right.
firing at
So
the target.
so
and it's
Gretzky
moving.
firing at the air. I am, and the whole I'm going to kill you all. I'm coming back. He's like, stop shooting, Gretzky.
Gretzky,
you can
Gretzky,
appear
hold me
out
up.
of you can appear out of nowhere. Why can't you grab a book?
And he's like, he just, you see him clenching his fist, and as he does that, feeling starts to come back in your stomachs.
Crap.
Gretzky, plug him.
Get me the damn book.
Gretzky,
What do I do? Who do I listen to?
Gretzky, just
All
do
right.
what you wanted to do before this.
I'll unload the rest.
Let
of
him
the
have it,
magazine.
worm. I said, being deliberately ambiguous.
Yep.
I'll take 2 more shots into our.
All right. Go ahead and do your fire roll. You're really close to him, actually.
Oh, good. Do I get a bonus die or? Just...
Yeah, I'll give you a bonus die.
Oh, cool. Oh, that's a hit, and again is a. Ooh, it's a real nice hit. That is okay. So I got a hard hit.
Okay. Your bullet hits Brophy right in the side of the head, and the bullet bounces off like it's hitting a stone wall.
Jeez.
Get the book, Gretzky.
But he's aware that you've done it. He's like, you son of a bitch. And he does something like this. And what you find is it feels almost like something's on your skin, like worms. And as you pull back and you look at your hands are withering, like you're turning into a corpse or a skeleton, and you can't breathe, and you fall on the ground, and you're kicking in agony.
Hey, let us move, and we'll get your book, okay?
Get the book.
All right, boost me. We gotta try to get this book.
Yeah, here.
All right.
That's a success on a strength roll to boost him up.
The book suddenly flies away, and it flies away like a bird, and within a couple seconds it's out of sight. You don't know where it's gone. What do you do? You get this feeling that Brophy is going to exact some sort of revenge for not getting his damn book.
I writher in pain on my left side.
Okay, you're laying on the ground. What do the rest of you want to do?
Well, shit.
Is that what you're doing? Right here in front of us all?
no.
Or were you just
Moron.
giving an order to the strangely suggestible Gretzky?
Who's writhing in pain on the ground.
Gretzky, shit there. No, on that gravestone. I never liked that guy.
What are you doing, Skinny Johnson? This guy looks like he's about to fucking explode. And I don't mean literally. I mean in anger. And you know what he can do.
I'm just gonna. I was like, that book's not gone yet. Oh, I still breathe. And we start heading to where he stopped flying off. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go get your book.
I'm going to look for a long stick.
And Vince, what are you doing?
All right, what the hell was the book doing?
It flew away.
I'm asking our wizardy friend.
All right, so you're standing there asking a question. Skinny, you're sort of chasing in the direction the book went.
Yep. Saying, I'm gonna go get that book.
And McKinney, you're looking for a stick.
Yep.
And
A good long one.
Gretzky, you are writhing on the ground.
On my left side.
Yeah, Skinny, do a luck roll.
Oh, 6.
Okay.
That's gonna be an extreme.
So, Gretzky and Vince and McKinney, it all of a sudden feels like the inside of your head, like there's a tremendous pressure. And you see, the last thing you see is Brophy raise up his hands like this and do that, and your heads all explode. Skinny, you managed to run through the woods, heading towards where you saw the book go, but you don't know what, the book was flying quite fast. I say that you have a chance to sort of get away.
Yep.
And you get to the gate, you find a tree, you climb the tree and jump over, and you run off into the city. Your story can play out however you sort of think that it does, but Brophy's not going to stop until he finds you and kills you for fucking up his getting the book. He's already killed your friends. The mob is probably after you too, as are the police. So maybe you move to California to a little town called San Damiel. And
Yep, nope, exactly. I've heard San Damiel is a nice place. I know. Skinny is getting the hell out of town.
Live out your life there. All right. So, and that's basically the end of our story. All right. So the explanation is that, I mean, you know most of it, except that James Brophy is the leader of a cult, the Stargazers at Dawn. And he is aware of a lot of Cthulhu mythos, and he really wants the Necronomicon. He can't get the one that's in the university, so he heard that one of his sort of upstart rivals, Thomas Kenning, who's the leader of more of a social club with occult dealings, has gotten that copy, and he wants it. He had no intention of letting you guys live in the first place. He'd get rid of you because you're witnesses and you know what happened, and he doesn't want anyone to know that he's involved at all. He has quite a few spells, which he was using on you, mostly to cause pain and suffering or to kill you. The other player in the game is the book. The book was somehow magically repairing itself by absorbing other mythos tomes, and it was whispering in your mind for you to do things that it wanted. The last thing it wanted was to be in this guy's hands. It wanted to find its way out somewhere where somebody that it could completely influence to become very much like Abdul Al-Azared and reawaken whatever. But he didn't want this James Brophy to be the one, so it wanted to get away from him. And in the last moment, it does get away from him.
So that was why it was trying to. That was why our POW kept going down.
The POW. Anytime
wearing
you tried
us away to make us suggestible.
Well, that too, but also anytime any one of you tried to do something, the book was making it so that you couldn't fail, but it was doing so by sucking the willpower out of the rest of you.
And I started with very low POW to begin with. And it was funny because I was the one saying, "Are you sure we really want to be going on a robbing spree?" But
well, then you actually never touched the book.
Yeah.
So the only one who could actually fail was you. The other ones couldn't fail. It would suck the POW out of the other ones too, in order to succeed. I didn't expect you though to roll such high failures. You know, you guys were losing 10 or 11 at a time.
But you definitely expected us to go to Innsmouth, though, right?
Didn't expect that. That was really cool. And of course, you weren't attacked and sacrificed because the book once again was sort of protecting you. And Brophy couldn't. He was projecting himself to Innsmouth. Oh, he shook your hands, and when he shook your hands, that was part of a spell so that he could spy on you and know where you were at all times, so you couldn't go running off with his book, you know. And when you went to Innsmouth, that's kind of the way he perceived it, that you'd halfway run away with his book. All right, cool. Our players included Morgan Llewellyn, Stuart Lively, Brian Daly, and Mick Swan, with myself as the keeper of the secrets. We're currently producing up to 4 shows a week with music and sound effects added in post-production in order to create a richer listener experience. We provide audio-only versions of our shows, free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. The costs involved with the show are provided almost entirely by our patrons. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. If you'd like to support our show, please visit our Patreon account. Just $1 or $2 a month helps us a lot. You can find a link in the description below. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch that bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. We do have a new patron. I completely forgot to write the name down. Give me just a moment and I will tell you who that is. Our new patron is Devin Uribe, and he is a new $3 pledger. Thank you very much, Devlin, for that contribution. And finally, let's see. This is Tom Rayleigh, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure in the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.